I'm not about to spend time with you the moment I see that you don't even take care of yourself physically. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, it's a little different for you as a woman. You're not a visual creature. Women will be with a man with horrible feet and not care. Women can be with an ugly man and not care because they look their qualities and what they're looking for in their partner is different than what a man may be doing. Men are very visual creatures, so I gotta at least be pleased with what I see.
Now, before we get any further, please make sure you take the time right now and hit the like button. That's right, hit the like button and subscribe. But we want to ask, what do you think a man's role is in dating? Going out on a date, what is a man's role in that?
Are we saying?
I'm gonna go directly. Who was that asking questions?
That was me, Jeremiah.
Okay, go ahead, Jeremiah. I'm gonna start with you. Good volunteer. Thank you.
Are we talking about like a first date? Honestly, first date first, or like dating in general?
You can break it down however you want to.
On the first date, it's. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's definitely a little more rare that I'm going all out paying for crazy stuff because I don't know if I like you. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see if I like you. But if you know what I'm saying, if the vibe is there off rip, yeah, I'm probably gonna definitely try to pay. Um, but my role is in dating in general with that person. I don't know. What do you mean, like dating as in like dating sport to a goal, or just dating in general, like just interacting with a woman?
Or however you want to break it down, dating. Okay, to debunk what is definitely going around on the internet, women feel like the men should pay for everything, first date and whatnot and whatever. And that he should, whether it's the first date or not, treat her to a lap of luxury.
Yeah. So I feel like unless I personally feel like unless this woman we plan on having a future together, there's no need for me to try to like overcompensate and spend highly on a woman that I have no future with. If I have no future with you, why am I trying to give you offer you a life? That's more of a marriage concept, and it's more so us trying to do that outside of marriage. And it's like at the end of the day, if you don't really see yourself or you have no plan of really being with me, why am I going into debt for you? So I'm not doing that. But as far as like a woman that I might be taking serious, I feel like yeah, like you definitely mentioned definitely try to be a provider, play that provider role. Sometimes us as men we kind of get into this idea that financially is always have to be that. I think that the goal is to try to aim for that, but you can definitely be a provider. Being a provider is a mindset. It's a certain type of stance you take in a relationship as a man. And I feel like you don't always have to be the one that's trying to flaunt your wallet around. You can. It's certain things about providing. Like I provide security to you. I provide a certain type of comfort to you, or a certain type of experience to you. So yeah, I would say that. Definitely think that providing that.
Okay, well, same question. What do you think a man's role is when dating, whether it's first date or dating throughout, courting or whatever you're doing?
I would say I don't know personally because I just kind of did stuff and see what worked, and some stuff worked, some stuff didn't. So I'm one of those people. I'm like trial and error. Like I'll go off the edge and then go tell everybody, "Hey man, don't jump off that cliff," So I don't know fully because everybody's perception on dating and how it should be done. I know that it's as a whole of what I've experienced and what I've observed. It wasn't the right way. It wasn't a good way, I would say. I won't even say right because I don't know the right way. But I saw a lot in dating that kind of gave me a perception that this is not real. And we're not doing this or in the proper manner. So I would say personally, I don't really know.
I'm still learning. I respect that. That. Okay, Ifa Bukola.
Man, this is a challenge. Because I'm on two different timelines here. I'm 41 years old. So things are different than what I remembered it being in the whole idea of dating. But it's to me it's your you're demonstrating your personality to somebody, is what I think it is. You're making a demonstration of where your mannerism is at, your temperament, the chemistry, and what type of instincts you have as far as your consideration of a woman. She wants to witness where your instincts are. Where do I have to ask you to, open the door? Do I have to ask you to, pay for something? Or, walk me across the street, or what side of the street you walk on, all these different things. So she gets to see the demonstration of where your instincts are at and where your personality is firsthand. And over a trend of dating, I would say that it's about knowing the character of the person, and you get to see who this person is under different circumstances, so I think it's more about, witnessing the person, in their behaviors and actions, interactions, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Well, very direct. Everybody has different perspective on that. I respect that. So we're gonna move on to the next question.
Wait, hold.
Oh, what?
I gotta ask you the same question. So, what do you think?
This is the men's day.
Okay.
Nah. You gotta give us the game. You gotta give us the game. You know you do. We trying to figure it out.
This
She
is
holds
the men's day.
She holding the gold, like dangling. Like, look, y'all, I got a couple gold coins.
Let me just say this. I will have the same questions on the ladies' day. And I will answer the same question then. Is that okay? Or y'all want to
Spoiler alert, right? Okay, I got you.
That's how you guys keep the views, huh? I'm like,
that's how you keep the views.
Cute me too then.
Come back to hear part 2 of what a woman thinks.
I'm going to set the notification now.
Oh, goodness. I don't know. We're going to see if there's some delusion out there, or not. We're going to see how it is. So, moving on. Jeremiah, this question is not. No, actually, Jeremiah, you went first last time. I'm going to give this question to Ifa Bukola. Do you think women have stepped into a man's role when dating by showing aggressiveness when they are interested in a man?
Wow. Actually, I don't, in a way. Okay. Let me clarify. I think that some of the aggression could just be them trying to be assertive, possibly. In some cases, where from what I hear, women reporting, out here in like you said, in the social media world and the atmosphere, the feedback that you hear out here in the world is that there's slim pickings, right? From how they see it, it's slim pickings or that idea. And so if that's the case, and you're in passing, like say you're at the grocery store, the laundry, or wherever, you don't know if you're going to see this person again. You don't know, does he live local or whatever else, but you might see something that may be of interest to you about the person or whatever, and they want to be assertive, to take the opportunity, don't let the opportunity pass. So I think that it could be a good thing when some guys could feel like approaching women, cold approaching, it's not as smooth as it used to be back in, like in the days when I was in my 20s and, and even early 30s. It was a thing to go up to girls, to get the number, write it on your hand, write on a piece of paper, it was an easy thing to do. But these days there's a different attitude, at least from what I've noticed. There's a different attitude where you approach her or you say something and it's like you could turn out to be the bad guy in an instant, and you only meant well, so it's like, guys are cautious of that, these days, quite often. So I guess you would have to take it into her own hands, to initiate, like, okay, I don't mean any harm, I'm not going to shoot you down, or, for my own pride and ego to shoot you down, to get some satisfaction out of it. I really sincerely want to know who you are. So, I think it could be a good thing, actually to do that.
Okay. Will, you next. What do you think? Do you think that, women these days, modern women, women of today, have stepped into a man's role when showing interest, when dating? Do you think that they have become more aggressive when showing interest in a man?
Do I think that they've become more aggressive? I would say yes. And I believe it's because of the fact that they're trying to they don't know how to get you. They don't know how to approach you. Because women, there's nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man and letting them know what their intentions are. And it's because of social media and, or a person might report what they deem to be a positive outcome to other people, or so they're getting on these platforms and saying things like, oh, when I first met my man, I did this, this, and this. And, people are impressionable. So they're thinking that this is the real world experience and this is what you need to do to get results. And like for me, when I have that type of response, it's like a foreign thing. I kind of like personally, it might not be everybody. I kind of feel a little bit like inadequate, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not even giving me the opportunity to show you that I'm a man who can, like, I don't have to provide for you, but I'm showing you, to edify Ifa Bacola. And what he was saying is like, you get the chance to experience my character and who I am to become. So I think it's kind of like a bit of a robbery. But it's not intentional. It's just, this is what's being broadcasted. So they're like adopting these behaviors and these ideas. I know women who are like PhD smart, but they have ideas that are kind of worldly because that's what's being promoted to them. They don't have anything else, and they don't have any other like source of information that's being massively promoted to them.
Well, can you define what worldly is? What do you mean by worldly?
In my opinion, when I speak my opinion a lot. So this is not.
Wait, that's what this round table is about.
Okay, cool.
It's your opinion.
Because I don't want to get fact checked. But in my opinion, worldly is catering to the things that are outside of you. That's worldly. It's outer worldly. Inner worldly to me is you more so focusing on how you can emit your energy to someone else, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, all those things. So that being said, if you are catering to things that are outside of you, you're just catering to what you see, and what you see may be wrong or it may be right. That's why I said I'm a trial and error type of person, because I know that some of the stuff I see isn't necessarily the right way, but I might fall into that category sometimes on accident. But we're just trying things. You know what I'm saying? What you pay attention to, you end up affording and getting. You say, pay attention, I got to give you something. So to me, worldly is catering to those things that you see versus the things that you don't see, which is, your own thought process. You don't see your thoughts, but you see them later after your actions tell you to do them. So, yeah, I think that these, not just women, but us as well, have been broadcasted a worldly view on life. So that's what's made our women to become a little bit more aggressive to me, because they don't know any other option other than what people are reporting works, but it don't work.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Jay, what is your opinion?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I can repeat the question. Do you think women have stepped into a man's role when dating or showing aggressiveness when interested in a man?
I think rarely. I think that is more of a observation for Black women than it is for the other average woman in general, different races. There is some women that do it, though. I won't only make it exclusive to Black women. I think it's more common in Black women due to our men. Like I said, I think I said this before in one of the previous pods. Like, a lot of times, I think that my own opinion, I feel like I feel women follow men, period. And like we can blame them all we want, but to blame them is to take a lack of accountability. So I feel like it's just been a noticeable thing. Like every woman, their ultimate bliss is to be up under a man, and like typically in relationships, you see when a woman becomes more like the man, and they become very familiar, look like each other, act like each other, talk like each other, and it's like so. Yeah. With that being said, I think that for the black woman, it's due to us as black men not having stability, not stepping into certain roles, and also being targeted in certain situations where we're being incarcerated and things in that manner, or not having the same opportunities as other races of men, and also us trying to escape though that reality by doing drugs, alcohol, mindless things, as well as being broadcasted. Um, Hip hop culture to say like instead of applying myself to for a plan that might be more guaranteeing than trying to be Drake or trying to be the next biggest thing ever. Like not all of us can be that. And honestly, it's not that many. I mean, it's a lot of celebrities, A-list. It's a lot of celebrities, but it's not a lot of A-list celebrities, and we all kind of aim for that. So, yeah, that I think that for most of the black men, that's the issue, and I think that can affect black women. But as all women, I think that in general, all men are not taking account. Like, all men don't really know the definition, like we said before. Don't know the definition of what it means to be a man. Some of them got kind of some races have an idea, but I think in general, like this. I guess maybe the generation, the type of men that we're seeing nowadays is being plastered all over the internet. I think it's more so due to women feeling like, why don't men want to step into that role that it's for them? I think they're waiting. It's like almost like it's waiting for the command. They're waiting for the command. They're waiting for the leadership and the guidance, but it's like it's not being there. So they feel like at the end of the day, they really want this stability. They really want this type of guidance. So they're going to take it into their own hands because we already seen that women enhance everything a man does. So imagine if the man never comes in, what does she have to enhance? Eventually, to be able to enhance, you have to be able to create. You can enhance. So you're creating something new. So at that point, you might end up creating a situation where you can enhance. And so you're going to create a situation where you do go after the man.
Yeah. Anybody got anything they want to say or comment to anybody's reply?
Yeah, that was an awesome reply. My boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you every time I hear you speak. For real.
Okay.
Yeah,
so what do you guys...
have fantastic insight, though. It's great insight.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to start with you, Will. What do you think a woman's role is during a date?
To pay attention. Yeah, pay attention and watch and observe.
Oh, yeah.
If they go on a date with the wrong person, they're gonna be like, nah, bro. Because people pretty much show you who they are, like right away, like little subtle hints of who they are. If you watch them, and if you take it a step further, I think women, not just women, I think all people test people in certain ways. So test the waters a little bit, and there you go. This is what you're gonna get from this person. If we paid attention in the beginning, I like that. You won't miss the sign.
I like that. But I see you speaking about paying attention in many different facets, though.
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
Being cautious, aware, mindful of themselves, their behaviors, any signals they may put out, and paying attention and being attentive to who they are perhaps going to have a future with. So,
And to add on top of that, I would say to be intentional. So pay attention and be intentional. So
in what way do you mean intentional?
Like, know what you're looking to get out of this in the beginning. Like, even if it's just like, okay, first date, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to categorize what the want may be. People have different motives and whatnot. But I would say be intentional about your date. So go into it also being mindful of how you are looking to have your night end, or how you want dinner to go. Like I would say, kind of imagine that. Be creative, but think about it before you even do it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Jeremiah, what do you think? What is a woman's role on a date?
When you're on a date, I agree with what Will said. When it comes to just be intentional, be pay attention. Um, that is like a universal though. Like for human beings, you should anytime you go on there, you should be aware of who you are dealing with. I feel like um dating intentional is more better than dating mindlessly unless you're looking for just for a good time. So I get that 100%. If that's your goal. But if you're looking, don't go looking for something serious if you're not willing to pay attention. Um, so yeah, with that being said, I agree with that. I think that on like in a more surface level of like if we do on a date, um, I'll use the first one because I don't. It's kind of it gets kind of blurry if you go down like different dates
Right.
as you get along
First
with
one.
somebody. But the first one, I think it's for her to, like he said, listen to see, right, to see if this the type of man you think you can add to, and then second, I feel like it's showcase showcase be your best self, which is vice versa, but for sure for a woman, be your best self. I think just be very attentive. Um, yeah, it's not really too much I expect. Be a lady, obviously, but I hope that goes without saying. I don't think I would even be on a date with somebody that wasn't a lady, but I guess for the women that aren't, definitely be a lady. I'm not saying you can't be yourself 100%. If you're not a lady, then be yourself, but I don't expect you to be a slob, so tap in.
Okay. Ifa Bukola, same question. What do you
Well,
think a woman's role is on the date?
intention is everything. You know, just like these brothers are saying, intention is everything. Staying inside of your intentions, not getting sidetracked and then end up, down the path where you're like, whoops, I didn't mean for that to happen, because that's where all the drama starts. But if we were to consider roles, then the man is there to show you why you should possibly want to respect me, and the woman is there to show why you should possibly want to love me. You know, so
Mm.
if that's the case, we gotta, demonstrate. You know, you should respect me for these reasons, but you have to show it without saying it, and she has to show it without saying it. This is why you should love me. This is why you should respect me as the man, or this is why you should love me as a woman. You understand? So that demonstration has to go there, and it doesn't. I think the biggest mistake, okay, and believe me, I have the experience where I'm authorized to say this. I
Okay.
think the biggest mistakes is misunderstanding dating for just hooking up. If you hooking up, you hooking up. Okay, that's your business. Do what you're gonna do. But if you're dating and you don't want to create burdens for yourself, it's good to know that dating is for dating, courtship is for courtship, engagement is for engagement, and marriage is for marriage. If we could return to that recipe, I think that we would actually have more happiness than what we would think or assume, and we would protect ourselves and our emotions along the way, and we have less damaged products. You know what I'm saying? That's coming out the households. Because a man is there to demonstrate why he should take it from here for the father, and she's there to demonstrate why she should take it from there for the mother. You understand? So that's just my perspective, though.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was nice.
That was it. What y'all think?
Nah, I
Any
agree.
feedback on that?
That definitely was a very objective view. Definitely see that.
I like how you all like speak. We speak. I notice we speak pretty general because it's like we can't not hold ourselves accountable. It's like if I'm gonna talk about women, I'm gonna also include myself in the mix. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I hear from all of y'all. It's like,
That's right.
all right, because we talking about how we view women. So I can't just talk about how I look at this person and not mention myself and my actions involved too. And it's just cut and dry. And I think y'all are really cut and dry. And and well spoken, so we can all understand clearly where you're coming from as well.
Now, if you go to the women's side, you may not see this, but it's okay.
Oh snap! Nah, bro, don't do that. Don't do that.
We're not gonna throw nobody under the bus.
I ain't been in it. I ain't in it.
We're not gonna throw nobody under the bus. Now I heard you guys say being attentive for the woman. She should be attentive. She should listen. And intentional, right? So, but what does that look like for the man on the first date? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna listen? Is he gonna? Is there chivalry? Does he open the doors for her? Does he offer to pay the meal? What is it that he does on the first date?
I think I said it earlier when he said it's like, walking on a certain side of the street, just being that protector, kind of just really showcasing. I guess well, like he said earlier too, though, it really depends. Are we just hooking up or we on a date? So we're gonna talk in the terms of dating to marry or dating to be with, seriously. So, but like, I feel like each party is showcasing.
I'm sorry. Well, you said dating or hooking up, so the treatment is not the same. I just want to make sure I'm clear with that.
I think we should always play our roles, yet some situations require it's more detrimental to play that role. If I don't play that role this night with a woman that I don't really plan on having a future with, I don't care if she misjudge me or whatever may be the case. I'm comfortable with who I am.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Come on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you was talking about the you was piggybacking off of Ifa Bukola from earlier.
What was the question again?
About if that's what the woman is supposed to do, what are you guys doing on the first date?
Oh yeah, just basically, I guess essentially, showing we're both previewing our potential to be a good worthy candidate. Just like like I said, just like in the animal kingdom, the peacocks, male peacocks are they have the brightest colors. Everybody, or even the gorillas, they show how strong they are. They end up fighting each other as lions. Do the same thing. It's like showcasing what I can be for you, which is every interaction with any human being, to be honest. But what I can do for you, what I can be for you. And the one thing is, I'm going to play in that. So as a man, I want to play into that role. As a man, I want to try to be a provider in a way, provide some sense of clarity when it comes to direction and guidance. If we're parking the car, walking to the destination, I'm most likely even also planning the date most times. Or, I'm trying to showcase that I can be a good leader as well as protective. I'm mindful. I'm making sure that you're not walking on the outside of the road, or I'm looking at surroundings. If any adversities come about, I'm stepping in between you and those adversities, and I'm taking care of it in the moment. So yeah, just showcasing what I feel I can bring to you as a man, or just even paying into that role. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got something they want to add on what they think the woman's role? I mean, the man is. You said the women had to listen and be attentive. What are you guys doing on the first date? First date of, I guess, a real date and not a hookup, because it's obvious we're not doing the same things for different situations, if you will.
I think it's I think what we're trying to do is win her trust, in a way. I think it's more of a thing of winning her trust, because getting her attention was more of the hunt, But once you got her attention, now it's you're trying to gain her trust, to show and prove that, hey, I'm trustworthy, I'm reliable, and you're always safe with me, And I think that is the basis of it, possibly,
All right. Well, I saw you had your little hand up or unmute. What you have to say about that?
Yeah, I would say it's the same thing. We have to be intentional and attentive, and we have to be mindful as well. And you got to come correct as a man. There are good examples that I did see in the regards of chivalry, opening the door. I always open my mom's door when she get in and out the car. So because I did that with my mom, I did that with everyone. I'm going to open your door. I'm going to make sure that, if traffic there, what I'm saying, you on the inside, like same things, a good basis of, just regular traditional stuff that we saw, the Casanova stuff, lay my jacket down for you to walk in the rain type situation. Like you should be that, and you should be the most perfect version of yourself initially. Don't fake the funk just to, because we're really trying to date. So if it's a real date, I'm not just trying to play the perfect guy for you. And then, we both know what we own. I'm just trying to make you comfortable. Like, it's not none of that. I'm going to be my most perfect self to you. And hopefully you'll want to see me again. And I'm going to show you another part of me, and just continue to gradually let you get to know me until we just, together, I guess. So that's my goal. I don't just be dating casually. I don't think, I don't know. It's not fun for me.
Okay. Well, that leads me right into my next question, Will. Exactly what you were talking about. Do you think that, I'm going to ask you about men. Well, let me ask about women. I want to cut to the chase. I want to know you guys' opinion about women first. Do you guys think that the image and or behavior of a woman represents her faculties in her life?
Can you like explain a little more?
Okay. Do you think that a woman's image or her behavior represents when you're on your first date, how she shows up on her first date, her behavior on her first date? Do you believe that represents her essence or the real her and how she's going to present herself throughout her life or your future relationship, if you will? Some women let me give an example. Some women show up with, let's just say, barely anything on, right? That's the image that gives might give a perspective of, okay, she's easy, or she might give me, want to be intimate tonight. Do you think or if she drinks a lot and she's a drunk, so now her behavior is kind of wild and landish, do you think that her image or behavior represents who she truly is in her life, and the faculties of, what she stands for? Or could she just had a bad day? I don't know. But what do you guys think about a woman's image and behavior on the first date? What does that represent? Will.
Okay. So do I think, I'm just trying to make sure I understand fully. Do I think how a woman presents herself like visually?
Okay, let me reword it. I'm sorry, and I'll edit this. Do you guys think a woman's image and behavior on the first date is something you will use to measure if you want to continue on with her or not, of who she is? Does it measure her true identity or not?
For sure. I think that's everything we've been talking about. Paying attention, being attentive. Your actions and how you display yourself to me, it will attract or it will repel me to you. It's going to be one of the two. So I think that the way that you present yourself visually and behaviorally, like if I take a girl out on a date to a nice classy restaurant and she in there like acting crazy, I probably wouldn't do that again. Like that. Nah, we're not here for that. They got jazz music playing. You know what I'm saying? Like nah.
Oh, that's right.
I think that those are the things we've been talking about. Like,
so are those telltale signs that you guys look for?
Yes, for sure. Yes, I'm watching for everything. It's like I said, it's kind of like a test. When you go on a date, like, all right, well, if we're going ice skating, is she going to sit down the whole time, Or if we're going bowling, is she gonna not bowl? Like, I watch those type things. Like, I'm here for you, for real, for real. This is your arena. It's like taking the kids to the park. You gotta take a woman out. People like to adventure, and you get to see them and how they operate. I let my son out at the park. He goes nuts, and he show you who he is. And I think that we should pay attention to that stuff right away.
Okay. Ifa Bukola.
Man, this is this is a good question right here. Oh man, I definitely yes, a big yes. I'm the first impression I feel is that's the oracle, that's the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? How you show up, and yeah, I'm paying attention to every detail. I'm looking at rather not is greasy ass fingerprints all over your windows in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at rather not you smell like a blunt walking in. I'm looking at everything. How you treat other people, how you talk to people around you. Rather not you even say thank you when I open the door. Because it's the little things. You know what I mean? So
what about her image?
Her image definitely too, because how you dress says a lot about your self-esteem, and it says a lot about your values, so I'm looking at all of that. To me, it's not about how expensive your clothes are, what name brands you have on, and different things like that, but to me it's about how your way of dressing or showing up, how it either preserves or exploits your modesty, because I feel like if you don't value or cherish your image that way, I feel like you're probably coming up short of the self-esteem that you should have. And I don't want to inherit a project, I don't mind showing up for somebody or being supportive to somebody, but I don't want to have to do the work that somebody's responsible for doing for their own soul. We should already come with that, in the works or done, already. You understand? Otherwise, we probably shouldn't be out here dating, and things until we get those things right. But I'm paying attention to that stuff because I learned a lesson in my life that my consent and my authority is always active at every moment. And what I sign up for, I can't blame somebody. I can't play victim. I can't say, oh, this person did this and that, this person did that. You seen who that person was. You seen the signs. You chose to ignore it. And now you inherited that lesson, So, and you can't blame somebody, So I pay attention because I want to be careful about what I use my power to create or co-create, So, yeah.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and sum it all up. Jeremiah, what is your opinion on that?
Sum it all up. Go ahead and break us all around real quick with everybody's point. Ask the question one more time so I can make sure I get you what you mean.
I didn't ask that question 2 or 3, 4, 5 times, different times. I don't even remember.
It's such a good question,
Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm getting
you remind us. What was it again?
Do you think that the woman's image and behavior represents, right, who she is as a person, an individual throughout her life? Is that what you use to judge?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So yeah, I definitely think so. I was in the service today, man. This woman, the bottom of her heels was so cracked. I was like, man, and she thought she can get a husband. I was just like, man, like I really look at that, man. That would tell you turning me all the way off elbow, actually. Like, I'm not like a shallow way, but it's just like I'm looking at you, man. Like
elbow act is crazy,
especially when you. Because
if you coming out like this, you don't care about yourself. You don't care, man. I feel like me personally, I might put a little bit more into my especially if I know I'm intentionally about to go be analyzed by someone I want to look at me highly. So I think that I'm gonna look at that a little bit more. And so certain things, yeah, I definitely look at that. I look at, maybe how your feet look. If your feet out, if you out here with your feet out, and you know it ain't doing this thing, then you don't really care, and I don't need to be dealing with you. And that is what it is. Like I can't pull up with I wouldn't even pull up with my fingernails dirty, like looking like I don't care of myself. It don't make sense. So I definitely feel like, yeah, it definitely matters. First date, just even the smallest things.
What about her behavior? What about her behavior?
Her behavior, obviously, but I ain't even analyzing that. If you ain't looking right on the outside, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't even care.
Well, they could have been having a bad day.
Nah,
it's not about piercing through and getting to know a person.
You knew I was coming to see you. You should have mentioned that. You should have said, "Yeah, I ain't having the best day." And I'm like, all right, baby, I'm not gonna look at you that way. In my head, let me
know ahead of time.
Right, let me know you don't feel as confident as you usually do. I'm like, oh, okay, it's all good. Come on out, it's all good. So I know to excuse you.
Breath stinking. I'm like, she having a bad day.
Right. Personality, that's second. That's we're here now. Like, okay, so can I deal with you visually? Okay, I can.
No, but real talk. That we got to talk about that. That's still kind of, you got to be careful of dealing with these pretty girls and dealing with people visually, because you will get mesmerized and hypnotized by beauty, and that's when witchcraft kind of happens. And yeah, I'm gonna ask Ifa Bukola's opinion on this, because that's when they get you all, because you go on by just the looks, and they can get you to be and act and do anything they want you to do, because you're caught up in the visual and not the personality.
Well, let me say this. I want to say this though. The thing, like 100%. I didn't say personality did not matter. Like I'm not even going to gauge, because if I don't, then you're not about to get the best out of me. And if it's not, you're not about to get the A1 husband or the A1 loyal man, because I don't like what I see, and that's just sad fact. I can try to have a moral compass about it, but the reality is, if you ain't looking good in front of me, then I'm looking elsewhere. And so
it is beauty in the eye of the beholder. So are you guys looking for those bad girls, bees, what they call them, or are you more of an average with a good personality?
I want a tolerable person.
I learned that lesson.
I know I did too, but I need tolerable. You can't tell me to go get Mrs. Hufflepuff if I ain't, you know what I'm saying? No, you can't tell me that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think like, I don't know.
She don't got to Beyonce.
She don't got to be the baddest, but like you got to take care of yourself at least. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least, because everybody has different preferences of what they like. Some people like different type of women. Y'all come in all types of shapes and sizes and colors and all type of different. It's such a variety. So it's like, people like what they like, but when you pull up and you see me on the first date, you bet not have no chapped lips and like if you got weave in your hair, it bet not be crazy looking like you just got done jogging or something. Like there's certain standards that
you knew you was coming to see tonight.
Right? Come on, why was you jogging here? I could have picked you up.
It's not even about Black and Miles.
It's not shallow. It just
smells off like nah.
You talking about smell like Black and Miles.
So I didn't get to hear from Ifa Bukola that answer to that question. Answer that question.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna get on your nerves, but if you could ask the question one more time.
Do you think that image or the behavior of a woman represents who she is on the first date, represent who she is in her life and her faculties of life?
Yes, absolutely. It does. And behavior.
No, you know I was coming to see you.
Okay, I'm going to talk about behavior and the appearance, right?
Like, and I'm like, all right.
First of all, the appearance. The appearance is important. I'm not attracted.
Let me know you
can't go no further than that. Because I know I probably wouldn't be as sincere and passionate about what I do. And if I get cold-hearted, it's no use in me wasting somebody's time.
That's second.
But I did learn the lesson about the Instagram model looking,
Okay,
no, but real talk,
bad
that
beat,
we
you
got to talk
understand?
about that. And that's still kind of,
I used to
you got to be careful of
oblige
dealing
to
with
that.
these
Okay,
pretty
I
girls
used
and dealing
to
with people
indulge in that.
visual.
And
Because
it taught me some hard lessons.
you will get
Okay, and I
mesmerized
found
and
the common
hypnotized by
denominator with
beauty,
that
and
type of
that's
person,
when
you know, is
witchcraft
that
kind of happens. And yeah, I'm gonna ask you
it's
something,
just your
Pola's
turn,
opinion on
you know,
this,
most of the
because
time.
that's when
Okay,
they
it's
get
just your
you
turn.
all,
That's it.
because
Don't take it
you going
personal.
by just the
No,
looks. They can get
do
you
what you
to
do, but
be
it's
and
just your
act
turn.
and do anything
But what I did,
exactly want you to do, because you're
Well, I
not
want to say.
caught up in the visual and not the personality.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. I want to say this though.
Public property,
The
okay?
thing, like 100%. Like I said, I didn't say
They're
personality did not
with you
matter. Like I'm
because
not
you're
even
holding
going
their
to gauge.
attention at that
I'm
time.
not about to spend
And
time with you
you're
the moment I
holding
see
their
that you don't even
attention
take care of yourself physically. That's
for
what I'm saying.
various
But the thing
reasons,
is,
okay?
it's a
You
little
could be
different for you as a woman.
a source
You're
of
not a
healing for them
visual
at the
creature.
moment.
Men,
Them
women,
getting
women will
through
be
a
with a man with
crisis.
horrible
You could
teeth
be a resource
and
for
not
them.
care. Women could be
Or
with an
you could
ugly
be
man
something
and
to
not
do in
care
between.
because they
You
look
understand?
their
But
qualities and
usually
what they're
they
looking
lack
for in their partner
identity.
is different than
So
what a
they can
man may
never
be
make
doing.
up their mind
Men are
about
very visual
anything
creatures,
because
so
their
I
looks
gotta at least
distracted them from
please with what I see.
reaching their identity. You know, these very, very attractive females, they often get lost in their own looks and you can't get in touch with them. Okay. They swing from person to person because each person is an opportunity that they feel is bigger than the last one. You know, it's a crisis, you know, and it's sad. Really, I sympathize with them, you know. But what I did learn is that the so-called regular girl is, in my eyes, is superior. Okay. And I feel like she's superior because she's not distracted by her adornment so much. Okay. And she's not trialed by how much attention and validation is available to her. Okay. So she usually tends to be more in touch with her identity, more sincere, more capable of loving. Okay. She is present, you know, in every moment. You understand? So I go regular on down. If I were to be in the dating market, I most certainly would start at regular on down. I mean, if you add an 8 on up, nah, I ain't got time for that. No, thank you. I'm not interested. But what I do appreciate about appearances, look like you love yourself. That's it. Okay? Just look like you love yourself. If you love yourself, you take pride in yourself. You have, you know, you demonstrate a sense of self-esteem. Again, it's not about the brands that you have on, but, you know, when you respect yourself, love yourself, have healthy self-esteem, there's a certain way you show up. It shows in everything, you know, from your nails to your hair to your clothing. Just like, you know, brothers explain with crusty ass feet, you're not coming outside like that, you know, if you love yourself. You understand?
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you got crusty feet. You probably full of domestic violence. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a fact. He got
I'm
the
trying to
short
tell you.
on.
You know, you coming out here with the swirlies and the wigs and all that and laid that. I ain't got time for the swirly either because, in my opinion, okay, call me crazy, whatever. But that swirly thing, to me, that's a sign. Like you know what I mean? You got the devil on your back. I ain't got time for the wigs and the swirlies. Ain't got time for that. So the personality, as far as the personality, I'm looking for mannerism that I would want my children to be influenced by. If you don't have mannerism and character that I wouldn't want children to be influenced by, then no, it's a no-go.
Or my household, because I don't know what you're going to do in my house.
That to me is the standard. So if you full of curse words, if you loud and clamorous all the time, okay, you're rude and disrespectful, you have a bad attitude, a bad demeanor and different things, you're not pleasant, no thank you, because you're not a good influence to children, so I think I would put it there.
Whoa any comment on that? You said a lot.
Nah, he brought it home.
Yeah, I do have a comment. I wanted to kind of ask because, it's easy to get the bad girl, stroke her ego, tell her how beautiful she is, with the one that's like, the 8 and lower, you know what I'm saying? Or the ones that you're saying, like, how do you compliment them? And I'm not saying
These
I don't know
compliments is
how. I'm just
crazy.
saying from his perspective. How like
So
I want to hear.
how do I lie to her?
I ain't
Well,
say, no, no, no.
because
I'm not saying.
it's
I'm not
in
saying
your
lie. I'm
eyes.
saying
It
from
will
someone
be, the
else's.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
No, for sure, for sure. But we're talking in reference to, what he was just talking about. He said that, he's not dealing with he's not even dealing with the 8. Or I don't think you said 8, did you? But
Yeah, he said 8
Yeah,
and
like
above.
8 on up. Nah.
yeah. He said so. You say you're not dealing with the 8 on up. So, like, how do you instill confidence in them? And this is not a joke. Like, I'm not saying. I'm saying it because I just want to hear your perspective on it. Like, how do you?
Here's the irony about the situation, right? The one that's the 8 on up, those are the ones who tend to lack confidence. They lack self-esteem because they lack authenticity. They're the ones who struggle the most with self-esteem. And they put all their eggs in a basket of their appearance. And if they should lose that appearance, they're in a crisis. So the one who's that 8 or 7 on down, they already are in that reality where they have to rely on something authentic to come up with a sense of self-esteem. So that's already worked out in them, where they're showing up as who they are, not relying on an image that they were born with, because often that image that some females are born with, they use it like a credit card. They swipe it and overswipe it, and they're in a deficit, with themselves, and they run up a check with it. And then when you run into the wall, you hit your 40s, your 50s, so on and so forth. You're in a crisis with yourself because now you have to relearn how to feel accepting of yourself without all of that. And so the women who do not have all of that extreme adornment, okay, that goes so far up in the scale, they tend to demonstrate true beauty, rather than just pretty. Pretty and beauty are two different things. Beauty is something that has to, come forth from within. And they seem to be closer to that often, which doesn't mean that it's the case with all of them, okay? But because of the circumstances, they learn to get in touch with that,
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's I was looking for that. I'm like, I don't. You kind of have to step outside of the norm. Like me personally, I have to step outside of the norm of what I see. And I'm listening to you. I'm like, all right, this is not normal thinking. So, all right, let's see, where your thoughts will go. Because to me, for those women, like you were saying, they're confident already. But what I see with women who are in that category sometimes, like the 7 and lower, they'll want you to compliment their beauty more than anything. And it's like, yeah, you're beautiful. Like I wouldn't have got with you if I didn't think you was at least attractive. But it's like kind of like they fall into that category of like, love me through how you like validate me based off of how I look. And there's things that I appreciate way more sometimes than just the looks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The great thing that I learned about women's nature is that they're like gardens. They're exactly like a garden, and men are exactly like gardeners. Okay, the man who was there before may have set up the garden in a certain way. He may have put the banana tree in a corner where it can't even get sunlight. Okay, he may have put the mango tree somewhere where the vines are choking it out, so it can't bear fruit. So the person who was there before may have, not applied a proper vision to that person, so they can't call it forth. You understand? When you're a gardener and you're looking at a garden, you have to have a vision. And what you're looking at in that garden of its potential, what type of soil, are you in a tropic, atmosphere? What can you grow? What can't you grow before you, invest in it? And there's weeds that you have to take out. There's plants that you have to, cultivate. And time, patience, consistency to see, the fruits come forth. But whatever you place in a woman, it's going to come forth if you water it, if you're consistent, if you're patient. I learned that the hard way. And what I mean by the hard way is, I learned many times where my ego got in the way of good timing, with a woman. Okay. And so, through cultivating her, you can teach her to see and realize what's already with her. And she will really thank you for that in many ways. Because once you teach her to do that, guess what? She does the same thing to you because she's a multiplier.
Hey, yes.
Enhance it.
This gonna be one heck of a playback. I say
yes. We're gonna have a moment to, reflect on that. That was good. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it.
That was a good one. Right.
My last question to finish it out is the last question to finish it out. Oh my gosh. Do you guys think that little boys and girls can learn what their roles will be in the home and in society without, and I'm saying black little boys and girls, without proper representation or ideal examples in the household? Ifa Bukola.
Wow, that's a challenging one, but I really believe that the parents are obviously essential, but there are times where an archetype or a figure of a role model or an authority in that person's life can really bring the best out of someone. There are those times. You looking, for example, Mike Tyson in Custom Model. He, Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the worst neighborhoods in New York City. And he ended up under the wing of Custom Model when he had several crises with his family and parents. And not to say that his life turned out perfect, but some discipline was there for him through that person, and love through discipline, and that's what every child needs, is love and discipline, So if somebody can consistently commit to delivering love and discipline, I think the best can come out,
Yeah. Okay. Jeremiah. Same question.
I think is it possible? It's possible. I don't think it's possible without. I think it's all right. I think they have to have some type of example somewhere. So we're talking like no example at all present, whether it's uncle, cousin, friend, or some type of sources of media. I just think that science is science. Kids learn from their environment. So if a kid doesn't have the right environment or right type of structure, it's very hard. Maybe they can learn later on in life, but as far as like getting to an age where they're interacting with the world and adding to the collective, I think that it's hard without some type of example to actually want to be. Or it can happen if they have something they don't want to be. So if they have an example of what they don't want to be, and it's very, very a strong one. But yeah, no, as far as like, I think nowadays though we have a lot of different black content creators or black people of influence out right now. So they can, if they search, not hard enough, even long enough, which is not even that long, because once you search something, it's in your search bar, you're recommended for days. So I think it's possible, but I think that it does require some kind of intention.
Kind of like what Ifa Bukola was saying, it's possible, but there's got to be some type of figure,
Exactly.
person, yeah, that whether they're in the home or not, or in constant contact. That could be a coach, that could be a big brother, big sister.
It can be a YouTuber that someone, or you TikToker, someone that just was always admiring, So yeah.
I guess we gotta get used to this new era where everything is digital and online, and nothing really direct and in person like we used to have.
It's
Yeah, we gotta start
unfortunate
reading
though.
books again.
Yeah, true.
It's unfortunate because because like at the end of the day you can have these videos. Like if my primary source or only source is someone online, that I can't necessarily that doesn't really necessarily answer questions, or I can't immediately get the answer to some of my questions of life questions. I think that is hard because you're kind of just going off based off what was recorded, but that person did not cover every angle of what they said to you, or like you can get only so far with the influence they have given you, because it's like very surface level. But what about those intricate moments? What about those moments when they're in their worst? How do I act? How do I respond? I can't access that same person online immediately. So it's not the best of options, but it's something that it's like makeshift, but it definitely won't get you super far.
Okay, Will, what is your answer?
It's like they said everything that could be said. Not really much to say after that. Yeah, could you ask the question again? If I
Do
can
you
try, I'm
think
gonna
that the young black boys and girls can learn what their role is properly in the home and in society without the proper representation or ideal examples in the household currently?
You said can they properly without the proper as a child? No. I'm
Yeah, all
just
the
I'm just
proper.
saying back to you what you said. Can
Do
they
you think
properly
that
without
boys and
proper
girls can learn what their roles are, right? I said the
Yeah.
proper way,
Yeah.
without proper representation or ideal examples in the household?
I would say yes. They can learn it, but they're gonna have a tougher life than the average person whose parents are showing them that example.
Mhm.
So it's going to be difficult, but they will eventually, if they want it, they will find it. Like Ifa Bakol was saying, like Jeremiah was saying, like eventually, what's going to happen if they want this, they're going to grab it. It's going to show up to them. You'll find a mentor. You'll find someone who sees you as trouble, even if you don't want it. Somebody might swoop in and kind of try to help you out, but you got to be receptive as well. So I think that a child could. I'm a prime example of it. I think a lot of us are prime examples of that because our parents aren't perfect and they didn't show us the proper way for everything. So what they didn't show us, somebody else might have taught us, which is not a thing to our parents. They don't know what they don't know. So yeah, we're gonna find it. So I believe that the person still could thrive, but in the early phases, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, Ifa Bukolas, your closing words for the evening. I'll let you close this one out because this time was for the men. This was the men's role in society and in the home, and this was part 2 of the men's questioning. We will have part 2 for the ladies coming up soon. But Ifa Bukola, if you as a man can give your closing words on this topic.
I think we're in a powerful position as men right now, because I can see and sense that there's a new chapter starting with men rising up, and not to rise up to oppress anyone, not to rise up to take advantage, but this is a chance that we shouldn't blow. And what I mean by we shouldn't blow is the circumstances in the dating market with the wars of the gender and all these different political things going on, that they want us to be separated and all of this. We had time to be with ourselves and reflect, to learn things. And I think this time with our power as men, we should not forget or sell our consent and authority. And it's time to possibly silence or walk away from the men in our community who want to promote promiscuous behavior and other behaviors that recreate these generational curses. Because we no longer can look across the hall and say, oh, women, you aren't doing this and you aren't doing that. Yeah, there's a lot of things we could talk about from both sides. But what we're supposed to be doing is looking at ourselves, before and after we have those discussions. And if we're looking at ourselves, what can we do to use our power to make sure that these things are not continuing for another generation? And what we can do is not participate in what seems to be creating the pain and the trauma over and over again. The alienation of parents, the courthouses being weaponized, all these different things. And it really starts with husband and wife are supposed to have certain experiences that other people are not supposed to have. It's sacred for a reason. And I think if we could return to that attitude, use our strength and our power to show up that way, everyone else is not going to have any choice but to change and rise up to that. So I think we have to take the burden first to change what's happening out here. And that means, we're going to have to use our strength and authority not to keep creating and recreating these curses,
Okay. Well, you heard it here.
What's up?
Well said. You heard it here on Can You Relate? Well, we over here being real and having these open discussions about, the truth of the man and woman's relationship in this society. We look forward to seeing you all back here again. Thank you. Good night.